Hello ladies and gents, and welcome back to another video on the channel. This is my prediction video for the SkyBet Championship opening weekend, which is 2 days time. It starts on the Friday night and it's the last weekend of July, of course, which means from now on we'll be packed full of football content coming your way. So let's get straight into the video. But before we do, please remember to like, subscribe and share the channel as well. That's really important. Thanks so much for the support on the previous videos. It gives me more motivation to carry on making videos for you guys and content for you guys to enjoy. Please press that notification bell so you do not miss a video. So let's get straight into my predictions. And on Friday night, it's the opening game of the SkyBet Championship season. It's the playoff finalists, Huddersfield against newly relegated Burnley on Sky Sports Football at the John Smith Stadium. As we know, Huddersfield manager left, Corberon left right at the start of pre-season. I'm not sure what it was for, but if there are any Huddersfield fans watching this video, please let me know down in the comments what it was for. But I'm guessing it was for transfers, having the funds and stuff like that. He wasn't going to get the backing, so he left. Huddersfield have really had to turn around this summer. They signed a striker from Solihull Moors who have gone into their B team. Harry Tuffalo and Luke O'Brien have left the club. Both gone to Nottingham Forest for a combination fee of about £10 million, I think. So Huddersfield will have a different season this year, I think. I don't think they will challenge the playoffs, but they had a fantastic year last year. Burnley, new manager in Vincent Kompany, bringing in loads of players such as Scott Twine, Harwood Bellis on loan from Manchester City, and a few other players on loan from City as well. Managed to keep players at the moment such as Maxwell Cornet, Ashley Barnes is in there, Vidra as well. So they have still got the quality in that squad from the Premier League. Weghorst has gone, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I think he has left. But the quality Burnley having such as Scott Twine and Ashley Barnes, who have had experience in the Championship before, especially Ashley Barnes and Vidra, will do Vincent Kompany a load of good. And I think Burnley will get off to a winning start in this game. I'm going to go with a 2-1 away win for Burnley. And I see Burnley getting off to a good start to get straight back to the Premier League. Okay, we'll go into our first 3 o'clock matches then. It's Blackburn Rovers versus Queen's Park Rangers at Ewood Park. As I said again, Blackburn Rovers, new manager. Tony Mowbray left at the end of last season as they failed to reach the Championship playoffs. What a job he did. But as I said, Blackburn, new manager, new players. They managed to secure Ben Brereton Diaz down for another year. So he is going into the last year of his contract, but there is rumours of him leaving for about £15 million. And I do think Nottingham Forest want him as well. QPR, new manager as well. I think it's John Eustace at QPR, if I'm not mistaken. A lot of players turn around there as well. It's really hard to predict the opening day because you'd like to think most players are still trying to pick up their fitness. Blackburn Rovers have only played one friendly, so to speak, at present. They drew 2-2 away at Celtic, and QPR lost 3-0 at home to Crystal Palace. So they've had different sort of pre-seasons. But as I said, it's hard to really predict the opening day, so I'm just going to go with a 1-1 draw in this one. I don't see any winner really coming out of this. Yeah, a 1-1 draw. Blackpool versus Reading. Blackpool, new manager in Michael Appleton. Neil Critchley left to become Steven Gerrard's number 2 at Aston Villa. And Reading, Paul Ince got given the job on a permanent basis. Congratulations to him. Had a fantastic end to the season. Managed to keep Reading up. Blackpool will be looking to progress this season towards a playoff place. Whether they will or not, I don't know. They've managed to keep hold of Josh Bowler so far. Lavery up front as well. Bringing in a few players as well. I think they've got Reece Williams on loan, if I'm not mistaken, from Liverpool. And signed a few other players as well. Reading have lost a lot of players. They've lost the playmaker John Swift in midfield, who has moved on to West Brom. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see where Reading will finish this season. But as I said, it's hard to predict the opening day, so I'm just going to quickly move through these games. I'm going to go with a 2-1 home win for Blackpool. I see Blackpool clinching this and just sneaking a 2-1 win out of it. Cardiff versus Norwich at the Cardiff City Stadium. Cardiff will be looking to have a better season this time round. Norwich back down into the Championship again after being relegated from the Premier League. Rashika's left Norwich. Timu Pukki was being linked with a move away, but I think they've managed to keep him so far. He'll be very crucial for Norwich this season going forward. I think he got 30-odd goals last time in the Championship, and he's a clinical striker at this level, so it's important Norwich keep him if they want to go for promotion. Cardiff will need to be challenging, at least trying to go for a playoff place this year. Very underwhelming under Steve Morrison last year, but hopefully they can bounce back and have a better season. But I'm going to go with a 2-1 away win for Norwich in this one. I just see the quality of Norwich being that little bit too strong for Cardiff at this stage. And as I said, with Timu Pukki, he will get you as many goals as you can as long as you're feeding him. So I'm going to go with a 2-1 away win for Norwich City. Hull versus Bristol City. Hull have had a massive transfer market. They've managed to pocket 20 million for Keane Lewis-Potter, who's gone to Brentford. They've signed the likes of John Mikel Seri from Fulham on a free transfer. That's a massive statement of intent from Hull City. And I think that they could have a really good year, Hull City, if they all click together and they all do really well. I think they could have a very surprising season. Maybe not playoffs, but higher mid-table sort of thing for Hull would be good for them. Bristol City, don't really know much about their transfer business, to be honest, but I know they've still got Andreas Weimann in there. They've got a few other players as well. Alex Scott up front, good young promising striker as well. So we'll see how they get on under Nigel Pearson. But in this one, I'm going to go with a 2-1 home win for Hull City. I just think the transfer business that Hull have done in this transfer market is really, really promising. And with still time to go, they could strengthen that even more. But I think Hull City in front of home crowd will get off to a really good start. 2-1 Hull City. Luton versus Birmingham. Luton really, really, really overachieved last year, in my opinion. The lowest budget in the Championship. Got to the playoffs. Yes, went out straight away over the two legs. But got a real proud fan base down there. Real tight stadium as well. And a lot Nathan Jones can be really proud of. Do I think they can build on that this year? I don't know if they can, because of the budget they're on and the way the Championship is being strengthened with the teams coming up and the teams coming down as well. I think it'll be really hard for them to compete. But if they can beat in and around those playoffs, Luton Town, I think they can give the playoffs a real good push again. As long as they can keep a good knit squad together, a good fit squad such as Adebayo and stuff like that, I'm sure they will be okay. Birmingham just had a takeover. New manager in place as well. It's a hard one for Birmingham because I'm not sure who the manager is. I think I've got it mixed up. That might be John Eustace. I don't know. But Birmingham's a really hard one. They've just had a takeover. The manager's in limbo. They've barely signed any players. I think Birmingham will struggle this year. Sorry to say, Birmingham fans, but I do see Luton getting off to a good start. I'm going to go with a 3-1 home win for Luton Town in this one. And I really hope they both have a competitive season. But I think Luton will fade off a little bit from last year, but I'm sure Nathan Jones will try and keep them in and around those playoff places. Millwall versus Stoke. Millwall have made some really good statement signings this window. Let's have a look at their squad from the friendly against Crystal Palace where they lost 5-4. They've got players such as George Honeyman, George Evans, Scott Malone, Mason Bennett, Benik Afobe. They've signed players like Jake Cooper as well. They've managed to keep hold of. They've got Murray Wallace still. George Saville, Tom Bradshaw. Charlie Cresswell from Leeds, a really promising player as well. So, real promising team from Millwall. They've done some good business. Stoke, I'm not sure what business they have done, but I'm sure that Michael O'Neill will be given his last season this year if they don't try and get to the playoffs. A team like Stoke should be in and around those playoffs. They shouldn't be a championship team, Stoke City. So I'm sure they'll have the expectation on their shoulders this year. I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw in this one, actually, because I think both teams have had good windows. I'm not sure about Stoke, but I'm sure Stoke will want a good start this year. And I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw just because I think it'll be a good opening day at the Den. Both teams wanting to prove a point early on. So yeah, 2-2 draw. Rotherham versus Swansea City. Rotherham came up second from League One last year. Swansea City, Russell Martin. They've got some good players, Swansea City, Obafemi, Pirro as well up front. They've lost Flynn Downs to West Ham, of course, but they've got money to reinvest in that squad as well. Rotherham, they've lost a few of their key players, actually. They've lost Hewique at the back and Michael Smith, both to Sheffield Wednesday, which will be a big, big miss for them. Michael Smith, top scorer last season in League One. Got loads and loads of goals, so it'll be a big miss, and I really hope Rotherham have replaced him. As I said, Swansea City, Russell Martin will be hoping to have a better season this year than their mid-table finish last year. They'll be hoping to push for them playoff places as well. So I'm going to go with a 2-1 away win for Swansea City. I just see the quality of Swansea and the experience that they have in the Championship being a little bit too much for Rotherham. 2-1 Swansea. Wigan Athletic versus Preston, a Lancashire derby to begin the season for the Latics. Good season last year, Wigan. They've won League One. They made it hard for themselves, but they got the job done. I'm not sure what kind of signings they have made, but they've got players like Josh McGuinness in there, Max Power, Derek-Qua, the fullback, Ben Amos in goal as well. Charlie White, will he be coming back after that heart attack that he had in training last year? Will he be coming back? Preston, Bury's former manager, of course, Ryan Lowe, has made some signings as well. Let's have a look who they signed. They've got Freddie Woodman, good young goalkeeper from Newcastle. Robbie Brady, good experience in the Championship and the Premier League, so he'll bring some good experience in there as well. Daniel Johnson still about at the club. Alan Brown as well. Signed Ben Woodburn as well on a free transfer. Ched Evans is still about. And Greg Cunningham as well. So they've got a good team, Preston. I'm sure they'll get off to a good start. Wigan back in the Championship. You don't really know what to predict with them. I think their target this year will be survival. But I do see Preston getting off to a good start, to be honest. But I'm going to back Wigan Athletic in this. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Wigan. I think the bounce of promotion and the home crowd on the opening day would get Wigan the win. So I'm going to go with a 2-1 home win for Wigan. But as I said, that game could go any way at all. It's so unpredictable. We've got the 5:30 game then at the Riverside. Middlesbrough versus West Brom. Good game to open the season, this. Chris Wilder's Middlesbrough have made loads and loads of signings, statement signings as well, as West Brom as well, bringing in the guy from Reading that I mentioned before, John Swift, that's it. Bringing him in, good playmaker as well. Looking to sell a few players such as Callum Robinson so Steve Bruce can get some players he wants in. This is now or never for these two, I think, for promotion. Chris Wilder won't stay around any longer if Borough can't at least make the playoffs. West Brom will be looking for at least the playoffs to automatic promotion. With the squad that he's building, Steve Bruce will have pressure on his shoulders to achieve this. But the experience that he's got in this league of getting Hull City out the league, and a few other teams as well, I'm sure he'll do a good job. This is a really hard game to predict because it's two teams that you'd expect to be up there. So I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw in this one, just with it being the opening day of the season. Really hard game to predict, but yes, I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw in this game. Any games on Sunday? Yes, we have. We've got Sunderland versus Coventry. Sunderland's return to the Championship after 4 years away is a home game against Mark Robins' Coventry. Sunderland are really invested in the team this year. Just waiting for this to load. I apologise. I know they bought a really good, promising young centre-back called Ballard from Arsenal, if I'm not mistaken. They've brought in Jack Clark on a permanent basis from Tottenham for about £10 million. Who else have they got there? Alex Pritchard as well is still at the club. Patrick Roberts has stayed on at the club as well. So they're making promising moves. Alex Neil, Sunderland here. Won promotion via the playoffs last year. So they'll be looking to really cement the place in the Championship this year. I think that'll be their goal. And then eventually get towards the playoffs in the next year or two. But Sunderland are looking good. Coventry, don't really know what they've added to their squad. I know they think they've still got Gyökeres in there. And a few other players from last year as well. I know they've lost Matteson because he was only on loan. I think he's gone elsewhere in the division. So we'll see how they get on. I'm sure Sunderland will have a good season in the Championship. I'm sure they'll stay up with that fan base and the squad that they've got, and especially the manager as well. And I'm sure Mark Robins will be targeting at least a playoff place. I am going to go with a 2-1 away win to Coventry, though. I think the experience of Coventry and Mark Robins will get them through this game. But I'm sure Sunderland will have a really good season. And there's one more game on Monday night as well. It's Watford versus Sheffield United. Watford, newly relegated from the Premier League. Sheffield United, Paul Heckingbottom, men will be looking for a bounce back to the Premier League. Really tough game this. Watford have lost players such as Moussa Sissoko and Ben Foster as well, the well-known one, as a free transfer. Emmanuel Dennis is rumoured to be going to Everton, back to the Premier League, but we don't know about that just yet. They've got Ismail Assar as well, whose future's up in the air. So there's a lot of uncertainty around Watford at the moment. Sheffield United still got their good players together. Sander Berg, Baldock, O'Connell at the back as well. They've signed a new centre-half, but I can't pronounce his name. I do apologise. So Sheffield United will be hoping to get at least a playoff place, and so will Watford. So the Championship this year is absolutely crazy. If jam-packed full of teams are wanting to go for promotion. So it'll be a really interesting watch. The Championship is one of the hardest league in the world. So we'll see how they get on. Anyone can beat anyone. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought about your team's transfer business in the Championship this year and where you think your team will finish in the Championship as well. Let me know what you thought about my predictions for the opening day for your team, if I got it right, if I got it spot on, or did I get it completely wrong. Please let me know down in the comments. The comments are important to me. It's a way that we can interact together. So when I do my content for the upcoming weeks, I know what to take in hand and note down for upcoming videos. But please remember to like, subscribe and share the channel, as there is a lot of content coming this this year, especially with the football coming back as well. We're jam-packed full of content. I've got loads planned for you. So please stay tuned and press that notification bell. And I will see you in the next video. And let's hope the championship season is as good as it always is. See you soon.